Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes, and I want to welcome you to Supernatural Saturday. And what a Saturday we have in front of us today. I've been just buzzing with energy. I don't know if you guys are feeling the upsurge and the higher frequencies that are happening around the planet. A lot of people are saying it's 5G, but no, 5G might have some effect, but there are higher frequency energies, divine energies coming into this planet right now in a very large scale, in a very large way. So be open to receiving those vibrations, like being really open to the vibration of love. Like, it's really important that you focus on the idea of love. I want to say, if you like this video today while we're watching it, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video and share the link out to other people, get other people involved in this message. And today's message is going to be called "To Know Love." And it was really funny how that came to me as whenever I don't get information until the last minute, they always just download it at the right time. So it's about to know love, and we're going to get into that as well. We'll just wait for a few other people to come on. Yeah, I want to welcome our new Patreon supporters to my Patreon page, where you'll be receiving a notice of what the benefits are to being a Patreon. As well, please go to my website, williammikeforbes.com, and check out some of the things we've got going on coming up in September. We got our mediumship courses beginning in September, and I highly recommend you to take these courses. They are life-changing. They're not merely courses for attuning your non-physical senses to tapping into your guides and angels. It's also for improving your mind and your body and the world around you that you live in. It's not just a course for getting into the heavens. It's a course for living heavenly here on earth. We strongly believe that we are here to bring heaven to earth. That's part of the process. So this week we're going to synopsize what this week was about, and then we're going to get into the what today is about, and then we're going to do the meditation to bring all the energies from the preceding 3 days and from today into an integrated process into our DNA. When you meditate and you get your body and your mind quiet, it becomes receptive. It becomes highly receptive to your consciousness, your intelligence, your awareness, your focus. I mean, our DNA is always receiving instructions from us, and it's always issues instructions to our bodies. And so when you understand, when we're bringing these keys and codes, we're not just talking about the information and the knowledge that has come through over the preceding days. We're talking about vibrational frequencies, informational packets, if you like, of information literally being downloaded energetically through your soul into your mind and into your body. And so again, be open to receiving these higher vibrational frequencies of love. If it's got an association of fear, just dismiss it, let it pass you by. So let's look at this week. Oh, hi Reflection, hi Louise, hi Tanya, Kimberly, Janine, Lori, and anybody else who's new here today, welcome. So we started the beginning of this week with living truth and loving life was the first idea, understanding that if you are a living truth, you will love life. And what was truth? Truth, I mean, Master Jesus, I can't put it the way he put it on Monday, but understanding that when you are living truth, you are in alignment with the highest conception of good in yourself and in life. When you get aligned to that, your behavior and your actions are very different than what they are if you're coming from the conditioning that you've been given by this world of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. That doesn't mean you can't learn amazing things from the world, but to really live the truth, to embody the vibration of truth, because of your relationship with the source that's beating your heart right now, is pretty profound. But he also talked about how the changes that are happening in religions right now, religions are losing their steam and their power and their influence over people because they are not grounded in truth. Only the truth can endure throughout time and space. Only love and truth can actually endure. Fear will have a limit. Fear has its restrictions, even on your biology. If your body's in a state of intense fear, it will begin to break down. The chemistry that's generated by the state of fear, the adrenaline, the cortisol, other things in the body to protect it from fight or flight mode, will eventually break your body down, cause premature aging, all kinds of things. Where love and truth will give you more life, which is what Master Jesus talked about. When you get aligned to truth and love, you will have life, and you'll have it more abundantly. And that was Monday. He talked about a lot of other things political. I don't want to get into that today because I left that to him. He was better at it than I am. But I also want to talk about the second time this week, where we talk about raising your light frequency. Now, this is really important. What is meant? What do they mean when they're saying to us, raise your light frequency? Again, I'm going to be paraphrasing because the beings that I have here today will be discussing the key thing to know love, and they're going to get into that when we finish this synopsis. So the um, raising your light frequency, really, really, really understanding that you are a soul that inhabits a body. You are not a physical organism. You are an awareness that exists within this form, and that this form is subjective to your awareness. It is also subjective to the information that's come into it through the five physical senses. The body is also subjective to the acquired information that it's picked up from experience through DNA. That can include many biological lifetimes and different incarnations. But all information from all physical experience is stored within the structure of your DNA. All physical knowledge and experience is stored within the structure of your DNA, and it can be unlocked. So when you begin to recognize that you're not your body, you're not your thoughts, when you begin to awaken to that which you are, this awareness that is you, that can weigh and analyze and examine and make conscious, deliberate choices independent of what you've been taught or believe. You can step outside your own beliefs and correct them or alter them or change them as you need. That you, that awareness that is you, that does not get subjected to the five physical senses, that does not get lost in the past beliefs about what life is supposed to be. That you is the light. You are a light. You are a Christ light. We all are in our essence. Christ means anointed teacher, right? That's basically what the word Christ translates into, anointed teacher of God, right? And we are all that in our awareness, in true who we truly are as an awareness. We have access to all knowledge, all information. Ask and you shall receive. Um, so you want to really get access to that higher light frequency of being a frequency of love, being connected to everything, being connected to all that is, not just what you can see with your senses, but what you can feel and know with your awareness, with your consciousness. When you start opening up your clairs, clairvoyance and clairsentience and claircognizance and clairaudience, you begin to see and hear more than what your ears see and hear. You begin to expand and get access to greater information, greater awareness. And the more your awareness expands, the brighter your light gets. I'm going to repeat that. The more your awareness expands, the brighter your light gets. And when your light gets brighter, you get to bring more down into form, and you have more to communicate, more to contribute to humanity. The more you bring down from yourself into form that's beyond what this earth has given you, you can contribute more to life, and you can create pretty amazing things in this world from that perspective. Um, and then on Friday, we covered the concept of your divine breath. And this subject they brought, thank you. I'm just, as soon as I say those words, I can just feel what happens, the energy that just flows in. Um, your divine breath. And we talked about the importance and value, the sacredness of your breath. And this subject has come up multiple times over the last few months. And it can't be stressed. We can't stress it anymore, that your breath is a sacred instrument. It is literally your tool to assert to the form that you are its master. You are the master of the temple. There are things in the form that are innate to it, but there is nothing inside your body that is not amenable or responsive to your command, to your will. But you must learn to know this. Many of you have been taught to think that somebody out there with a certain machine or a certain tool has a greater knowledge of what you can develop about your body. But no, you with the assertion of your breath, you are also already assigning power and control over this form. But this does not remain restricted to the breathing apparatus. This also includes your vital organs in your body, including your physical brain, your blood, your DNA. These are all amenable and influenceable by your awareness and your consciousness. And when you begin to understand that, you will begin to modify the way your mind, the way your thoughts, the way your memory influences and affects you, so that you may enable yourself to be free of this world. And when we say free of this world, we mean that you are free in that there's nothing of this world that will dictate or determine the expression of your being, because it will be coming from your higher light. But your breath, please note, is very sacred. And you may use this to communicate to any organ in the body. You may even use your breath to communicate to the blood in your body, to the nerves, the organs, the glands. You may use your breath to communicate to the energy around you. Uh, It is why this is so sacred in many teachings around the world. And we emphasize this because it will be important for today when we begin to continue in the process of you knowing love. For you to know love is to know freedom, but to know freedom, you must know love. Yes, I'm just giggling because I was saying to them what they said to me this morning is that when they had me write it down, they said today to know love, right? And I thought to know love, and I kept repeating the words love, to know love, and there's a double meaning there. To know you can love. When you know love, you can love. So to know you can love. So know love. And what is love? Love is a vibration. Love is a frequency of what is we would call ultimate good or ultimate connection, ultimate unity. Um, we're trying to find a language, uh, uh, a meaningful word that would help you understand this, but the only thing that you can know to understand what we say is through your experience of it. And we will take you through this shortly, where we will bring you through the experience of love as you understand it. And in connecting to that experience within your own awareness will give you the truth of that experience for you. For we can, and this translation can only give you a translation of that which we know. Only you can know the truth from your experience of it. And if you are looking at the truth from exclusively a physical standpoint, you will find that there are certain restrictions that the physical perception of reality offers you in terms of knowing what is true and what is false. For in this physical dimension, that which appears to be true can be made false, and that which is false can be made true. So there are very different ways in which energy works in this physical dimension than it does in the truth of your own experience of what is. Fascinating. Yeah. Um, it is. For me, it's fascinating. So I just had to feed that back. Um, so that's. I want to again welcome all the new people that have come today, and anybody else. Remember to like this video. So if you like the content, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this out to other people. Get people involved. There is a huge change in global energy happening right now, and we are all part of it. Like every single soul, whether they're conscious of it or not, we are all collectively part of a dynamic creative process. And there is none from the creative perspective that is lesser or more than, although you can defer. They keep telling me this. You can defer your right to control your destiny to another. It's called servitude. They're saying slavery. You can give you can give the right to another. You can assign a right to another to have dominion over you, but that is called servitude. And that is not what we would promote. We promote your absolute divine expression fully and completely on any level of consciousness that you would choose to exist on. This is important to understand, that the limits that you think you have do not exist from another perspective, but you must understand how to move your awareness to that place where those limits do not exist. And many of your limits are in your mind, what you have been taught from this world through these five physical senses. And as you begin to differentiate from your senses, you'll start to come to your sense. When you begin to differentiate from what is in your mind and what you know as an awareness, you will come to your sense, and you will be liberated. And no one else will ever be assigned the right to determine your life, for you will know who you are. Cool. Thank you. So we'll take some questions now. Um, yeah. Cool. So to know love. So to know love is really the subject. It's important to understand the concept. To know you can love, and when you know love, you will love. It's really simple. When I read it over, it's like, again, it'll mean, because of the body and mind you have right now, you're going to interpret all of this information in the framework of your body and mind. And yeah, it's our hope that the vibrational information contained within the language will be imparted to your soul. So it is our goal to communicate to your soul directly through the frequencies that are embedded in the words that are spoken, the vibrations, whether those vibrations are vibrations of light or sound or smell or touch or frequency around you. Our goal is to communicate to you as a soul, not merely as a body mind. So please understand that this is what our goal is in communication with you today. Um, so let's go to see what we got here. Um, This is a great question. The first one is from reflection, is asking, um, are we truly living in a holographic reality? Um, yes, the answer to this is simply yes. The conceptions of what that is in comparison to the word are very different. We would say to you that all possibilities that can ever be conceived of exist simultaneously, even at the moment of their conception, and all these possibilities exist simultaneously. It does not matter how ridiculous it might appear in your mind or in the mind of another. All realities, once they are conceived, exist simultaneously at all points of time and space. You find yourself localized to a particular frequency of that energy, of that holographic system, and you perceive yourself as the life that you're experiencing right now, or as that individual you're experiencing yourself as now, or that body as you're experiencing yourself now, or that mother or father as you're experiencing yourself now. But all of those things and many others exist simultaneously. We know this because we've experienced this. When you come to the awareness that anytime you fantasize about something, there is a reality that's manifesting instantaneously. Ask and it is given. It is important to understand. The minute you think of it or conceive of it, it is manifested. You've given it life. Um, you can look at your own evolution in the civilization that you currently exist in over the last 150 years. You can clearly see all of the things that people have fantasized about that are coming to fruition now. And it's easy to see this. But all realities, no matter how ridiculous they may seem, exist. Even the most horrific realities exist, as do the most heavenly. For the Creator does not restrict you on what you can create. It simply says, create, ask, and you shall receive, and it will be given to you. And it's very simple. hmm It's funny that you asked that question because I also, personally, I get to this place where I wonder about different timelines. And I've been exploring timelines right now, especially the timelines that I'm familiar with through this body, because I'm very cognizant that what happened in my biological life when this body, when I think this body was two, it's actually still 2 years old. The 2 year old, the 1 year old, the 6 month old, the ovum, the sperm, the 10 year old, the 15 year old, the 20 year old, the 30 year old, all of that is within here. It exists as a reality in this moment. Each event that I've ever experienced as an awareness exists simultaneously in consciousness. And so it's one of the reasons why I can go back and I can correct, like I was talking about irritation that I discovered because a rash that appeared on my lower leg, and I discovered irritation. When I got into the irritation, I suddenly remembered a point in my life where there were things going on between my mother and father that were very disturbing. And as a child in a body that's not aware like we are aware now, that body got very anxious and nervous, and that showed up here. Almost 60 years later, it shows up as a rash from my unconscious on my body. And then when I began to release the irritation, um, the body healed up. Within a few days, the rash was completely gone. The reason I'm saying that is that that's one timeline that was still going on, and I corrected that timeline. So that 2 year old is no longer suffering from that irritation, and I can see the evidence in the present moment from that. So the life that you're in biologically now has many different timelines simultaneously, and also the ones you imagined and created. And then there's the timelines from other lifetimes that you brought forward. All of those are accessible through your DNA if you can begin to get your mind out of the way and start to call information forth from your DNA to get more information. But that's a great question. We do live in a holographic universe where all possibilities exist simultaneously at all points of time and space. Great question. Thank you so much, Reflection. Um, Question from Lysandra. Can all of us send love to my mother? She told me yesterday she has COVID. Um, Lysandra, we're saying this right now. The first thing you must do is before you even send love, you must release your fear. Um, for this is what she seeks to gain some degree of hope through. Many of you have been taught to think that fear has a reality that's going to somehow reward you, but suffering has never rewarded anybody. So the first thing to do is to first release your fear around this idea of this virus, for the fear is more powerful than the virus is itself. So release that fear. And from this place, yes, let us send love. Let us send love to this dear one. Let us send love and let her fear be transformed by this love. Let her fear be transformed by this love. For love is the transformer of fear. Mm. Thank you for that, Lysandra. That's beautiful. Question from Kimberly. Giving control to another, is that conscious control over physical in body, or your soul giving up control, therefore allowing some other spirit to control? They're saying it's not an either or. You can literally give in trance channeling, for example. We discuss trance channeling in our mediumship advanced level program. I don't personally recommend trance channeling. I recommend trans allowing, where I'm watching. I'm standing by the door saying, "Go ahead, guys." Um, I don't allow any other being to have authority over my soul. We are a team. We are a divine team. All of us are a divine team. Nor do I let have anybody have dominion over my body. This is my body. I've experienced a lot of abuse and aggression as a child, and so I know the value of freedom, and that no individual should be given the right to have authority or control over your body or anybody's. That's God. God runs this body. He's given us the opportunity to take care of the house while he's with us, right? He said, "Here, take care. Let's see what you do. I'll give you this body, and we got this body." Um, so from that perspective, we have absolute freedom from the freedom that of the life that is given to us. We can do what we wish with that life, but you can also allow others to have control of that life, and people that are they give their life over to drugs, they give their life over to alcohol, they give their life over to governments, they give their life over to doctors, they give their life over to police, they give their life over to abusive spouses. They give their life over to something else out there. And yet there's such a resplendent beauty in each and every one of us that when we tap into that, when you start to liberate yourself from being confined and defined by this world, wow, you'll bring something into this world that will just knock your socks off and make people smile. Because each and every one of us came in here in love and in trust. And when we begin to enable that, it's really important. So yes, but you can choose to say, okay, I'll do what you tell me to. If you want me to do this to my body, if you want me to, if you want to beat me up, go ahead, beat me up. There are people that are like that on the planet, and that's their right to do so. I would not judge them any more than I would judge somebody who doesn't do that. We are free, sentient beings, to experience our experience of life in the way and means and fashion that we so choose to. So I'm just making some adjustments here. Just there we go. Now I can see your questions a little better. If anybody sends a priority question as a super chat, I'll be able to get it now. So yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, there are lower vibrational beings that you could surrender to too, but you have to be at a low vibration. Like if you're in the state of love and grace, you're not going to attract fearful, scary entities. You're going to attract beings that resonate at the level you're at. Energy, like water, always finds the same level, right? So yeah, that's why we talk about repeatedly, raise your vibration. Wake up with joy in your mind. Wake up with excitement about the day. Don't even try to be attached to what's going to happen. Get into the feeling of joy and watch what that does in your day. When you start to do that sort of thing, you begin to work with energy differently. Then you're not playing with just what you've been taught or what you remember. That's what most people are stuck in their heads. And they don't mean to be. They're trying to most people are stuck in their heads and they're so attached to thinking that these thoughts are who they are that they can't get out of it. And that's not love. That's not knowing love. That's just knowing the mind. But yeah, you can only surrender yourself to beings that are at the level that you're at. So people that are being abused in relationships are at a level of fear that allows that relationship connection to happen. And I can speak from personal experience, but I won't get into details about that at this time. They're telling me not to. Questions? Okay, here we go. We got time. Oh, we're doing great. We got another 34 minutes, so we can take about 3 more questions, and then we'll do the meditation. Yes. So thank you for that question, Kimberly. And Patricia's asking, was that extremely strong smell that came to me yesterday? Yes. He volunteered to help me yesterday. He says yes right away. He just says yes, and he's smiling. He's smiling, hand over his heart, and he's doing this. I don't know why, but he's saying this. I don't. He says you'll know what that means. He's hand over his heart and this. Yeah. And something about put it behind you. He's saying put it behind you. I don't know what he means, but he's saying put it behind you. Yeah. Metatron usually comes with just intense energy. Usually doesn't come with smells like that. That's wonderful that he presents. Your guides, your angels, the archangels will present themselves to you in a way that you can receive, where you have an opening, right? If you're in a dark room, and most people are, if we use a dark room as a metaphor for your mind, most people are stuck in a dark room, and the slightest little pinhole in a dark room can give you a lot of light. And they'll look for the slight openings that you have in your awareness that allows them to communicate to you, whether it's a smell. Oftentimes I'll be walking down the street and suddenly I'll get the smell of jasmine or lilacs, or I'll get the smell of roses, and there's no gardens around me. I'm in the middle of downtown Toronto. And I know that the masters are just saying, we're present with you, we're here with you. And it's different again for different beings, and how they'll present themselves to you. Master Jesus presents himself with intense heat to me. um, Archangel Michael is always trying to nudge me forward. He's always trying to push me forward. It's fun. And again, so you'll find, I'm really glad you said that about Metatron, but be mindful, all of you, that you guys and angels will present in the way that you're open to receiving them. So with the fairies and the angels, the Pleiadians, all the other multidimensional beings can only connect with you on the level that you're open to receiving them. Right? That's why raising your vibrations up, you start to get access to more and more evolved beings. And I'm using that word very carefully, and because we're all evolved beings, but beings that have more knowledge and awareness and experience than you that you can learn from. As you get into the range of their frequency, you'll be able to hear them, see them, smell them, touch them, taste them. It's really cool. Um, okay, here we go down here. Question. Artist is asking a question. Please explain the cosmic heart of love. Wow, that's a great question. And the first word they said to me is it is all inclusive and encompassing. When you can expand your awareness without boundary or limit, you will know the vibration of the cosmic heart. For it is not measurable in time or space. It is measurable in your being, that which it is. Allow your awareness to be untethered with the distractions of finite things. Allow your awareness to be limitless. And in that, you'll understand the cosmic heart. And when you bring that awareness into your body, many things will open for you. The body will be changed by this awareness. It is your awareness that changes your form. You may bring this cosmic heart into the form and see how this delightful presence of being affects time space for that body. Cool. Great question. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, artist. I really appreciate that. Melina is asking, thank you for that super chat, Melina. Melina is asking why aliens like Greys want to heal and help humans. Um, One of the greatest things they've been telling me over and over again, as you gain more awareness, as you gain more knowledge, as you raise your vibration up, the natural way of the cosmos is love and unconditional giving. And the higher up in consciousness you go, the natural desire is to give more, because you know you will never run out. And the more you give, the more you become. The more you become that which you give. And so the Greys, and not just the Greys, the angels, the archangels, I mean, they're not the new dimensional beings that are coming in here too. The concept of giving is innate and natural as you get more aligned to source energy. It is unconditional giving. Yes. So when you open yourself up to receiving unconditional love, know that that's what you will receive. But be mindful. Do not try to open up to love if you are in fear, but rather learn to transform your fear through love, so that you will be in love, which can receive that which it is. Um, an example I'll give you that because that sounds kind of cryptic to me. An example is if you want to connect, if you're afraid, you're angry, or anxious, and you want to have Master Jesus give you a hand, you can ask for assistance, right? But what I recommend from what we've learned is you find that fear in your own body and you give that fear love. You give to the fear, the anger, the guilt, or whatever you're feeling, you give to it the love that you would like to receive. The moment you do that, you begin to bring in and align yourself to Master Jesus, to Buddha, to the beings that are on the Pleiadians, the beings that are here, the Greys. Those are of that frequency of love. When you align yourself to it consciously towards yourself, it creates a connection. So try this. Next time you find yourself in fear or love, get into that. Get into a state of love and communicate your love to the fear. You'll feel the fear change almost immediately. And then you can receive. Because once you're in alignment, you're setting up the connection, you're setting up the frequency of love, you tune in, you make the connection, you make the call, right? That love is a frequency. And it is, it really is. So is fear. Fear is just all frequency on this dimension. Um, that's funny you say that, Patricia, because I've gotten smells like that too. It can be funny, and you can ask him yourself. You don't need me to ask him. He's just laughing. He's just saying that you can take it anyway, but smells are very different from the perception that we gave them to you from. He's saying to me, those people who live in a lie will be afraid of the truth, and they'll perceive the truth as a lie. And so, too, if you're in a state of fear or uncertainty, you will perceive one thing a certain way, but it does not mean that is what it is. Try to get into the essence of what was communicated to you rather than the sense of what was communicated to you. For there is a he's saying what you call shit in this world can also be used as a fertilizer. Understand that I work with you to help things grow in your life, not to make things shrink. That's cool. Thank you. Carolyn is asking, I get reoccurring sharp pain in my left thigh, comes and goes. Is this a physical or spiritual issue? Thank you. One of the things they taught me, and it's been really exciting, that our body stores information in a very orderly fashion. From the time we're born as a single cell to where we are now, wherever that pain is in your thigh, depending on your height, wherever it is in your body, they told me that when I got that rash, they said it was in my earlier years. Illnesses tend to happen or be emotionally generated from the point of the genesis point is in your. The genesis point is where I was 2 years old for that rash, and so that's where it's stored. It was low down in the body, like the rings in the tree are towards the middle. Well, our bodies we go up, so the age range in your body. So wherever your thigh is, if your thigh is halfway below the top of your body, or it's going to be before the half midpoint of your current biological age. So your biological age now, events that are happening will be stored up here. The further back in time they're stored lower in the body, right? So to go back to probably they're saying probably around 5 years before the mid time of your current biological age. Go back to 5 years prior to the current biological age you are. Go back to that time, and it's that year. They're saying in that year the emotion that you're being given to restore to health is being brought forward. It's the emotion that you need to release. Do not get caught in the symptoms of the physical pain. So go back to the event, release the emotion from that event, release it from the body. And you don't actually have to go back to the event. You can actually just feel the emotion that's there and release it. To know love. We're going to be getting into that meditation in just another minute here. Let's see, I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss anything here. All right, okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Where are we here? Is there an attunement or mantra to call in love? We're going to be getting that in a few minutes, Tanya. Hi, Mary is asking, is it love to let evil be? Just move away from what's evil to yourself without trying to change it. That's a really great question, Mary. And a lot of people have asked that. And for me, the thing they've been teaching me to do is to, even in the face of evil, to be as love and to not try to confront it. But they've had me say and do things that you must affirm who you are. But they're saying in your case, what you need to do is you need to take your attention off that which is causing you the fear, that which is causing you the distress. You must get yourself beyond the distress. You must transform that distress to a higher estate. You must restore love and then extend that love. You do not have to overtly speak or do anything, but you must acquire and indulge deeply in the vibration that you know of as love, and then just merely radiate that out with no intention to change anyone other than to radiate love out. For you do not need to do the work that your spirit will do for you. Ask and you shall receive. When you extend love outwardly, love will do what love does. You do not have to be attached to how it will reorganize the affairs of those around you, but you do need to be connected to the very vibration that you wish to extend to them. And I'll rephrase that as getting to a place where you are literally feeling such love within yourself, literally feeling such incredible love. We're going to be doing that, but thank you guys. They're just downloading all these vibrations of love into me. It's like expanding my field. And you just radiate that love out. You just radiate. You don't have to worry about how it's going to affect people. I don't have to worry or think about how the freezer is going to freeze this water. I put this in the freezer. I don't have to worry about, I don't have to get in there and make the water freeze. The vibration will do that. So project love first into your body, fill your body with it. We're going to be doing that in a couple of minutes. And then project that energy out and just let it go out and let it alter and affect and change the beings around you the way it will, because it will do what it does and you will see. And when you're consistent and persistent enough in that process, you'll start to see the magic of your being just being love, right? And you can't know love until you know love. And the only way to know love is to become love. And again, we're going to allow you to participate in this with us. So you have the opportunity to experience that from within your experience of it, not from what we say, but from what you experience from within it. Thank you for that $20, Carolyn. I really appreciate that. Yeah, 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 that's right. That's right, Patricia. Yeah, yeah, that's funny. I love it. I love that you got that. He's laughing. He said, good for you. You got it. Um, Kimberly's asking, and again, this is a question because a lot of people believe that they have to call in protection and put up all these wards and devices. And the minute I got to say this, and they told me this, yeah, I had to stop doing that. Right, I'm putting up shields and protection around my body and stuff like that. And they said the reason is the moment you offer a defense, you invite an attack. And what's really fascinating is I found a book called A Course in Miracles that talks about that too. Master Jesus channeled that works, right? The minute you start to put a defense, you actually are putting a vibration that actually calls forth an attack. But if you're in a vibrational frequency of love, that will be your sword and your shield, literally. Like you're in a vibration of love. We're going to experience this. We're going to get started in about 3 minutes. You're going to experience that when you start to just radiate out. That will be your protection. Love is a frequency. Like I said, when you know how to generate that frequency deliberately and intentionally, and to become it, not just to generate, but to become it, to be that which you're sending out, and without judgment, without criticism, you're just sending that vibration out to everybody, everywhere, at all points of time and space, and you don't have any judgment. You're just allowing that being that you are as love radiate out, and it will organize affairs for you, like the temperature in the freezer will turn this to ice, or the hot pot on the stove will turn this to steam. Vibration organizes matter, and emotion, whether it's love or fear, emotion organizes all matter in all conditions, in all states. What we see, mountains, trees, birds, planets, it's emotional energy that organizes matter. And in your world, individually, you are organizing your life because of the emotional energies you have within you that you've carried forth from your past. And as you liberate yourself from them, you start to see changes happen around you. Thank you. um, wow. Perfect. That's great. So we're going to get to the meditation part right now. That's correct. When you're deeply rooted in love, you know that nothing can harm you, and it's really true. It's really, really true. Uh, you have to, and when you don't have love, you should at least have compassion for people that are in pain, people that harm others, people that act foolishly are in some form of pain, and you don't want to go into judgment. You want to go into compassion, because they're suffering. In order to do something that way out there's got to be suffering going on inside. But there are beings, yes, thank you. They asked me to also say there are beings on this dimension that are malicious and enjoy their maliciousness. They've chosen to come in and experience and express that you can, that you will sometimes have to actually use force on. But Master Jesus says there was not one in the world that would not be affected by his love, except those, he's calling them the wicked ones, that without care for anything other than themselves uh, would take life without any care. There are those too. He's saying, but we won't get into that right now. Okay. So to know love. So I'm going to ask everybody to consider right now. It's 12:12. So we're going to start this right now. Um, to consider what is love for yourself, not as just a concept, not as a romance, but as a vibration. Consider at this moment what love is as a vibration for you personally, and become aware of that vibration. Become aware of how that vibration feels in your body right now. If it helps you to take a deep breath to do that, do that. But become aware of that vibration of love as you know it within yourself. And if you don't know it from experience, then conceptualize what it would feel like if you felt love. And whatever feeling comes up for you, that is where you start from. So just be aware of that vibration, how it feels. And then take a moment to take a deep breath and fill your body with that feeling. Like, fill your body with this feeling of love as you know it to be at this time. Just fill it. And when you exhale, intensify that feeling in your body. And when you breathe in this time, breathe in, but allow yourself to become the vibration of love without analyzing. Just be it. Just be the vibration as you breathe in now. And as you exhale, intensify your experience of this feeling. Now think or speak the word love so that you can feel that vibration reacting to the word love or the thought love. We want you to integrate this feeling into your mind and body. So when you think the word love, make certain it feels and responds and reacts to the vibration of love that you're being right now. Feel the vibration that emanates from the word love or the thought love. There is a distinct vibration. And in the vibration is your being. When you speak or think the word love, feel the vibration as your being. And even if you can only feel the vibration as a perception, use your breath to intensify it. Breathe deeply and expand this feeling even more. And now allow your awareness to be the feeling. And as you exhale, expand yourself as the awareness being the feeling. and speak or think the word love and feel that the word and the vibration match. Feel how they match. Love. And feel how the thought love matches. When the word and the vibration are in harmony within your body, you will begin to know love. And as you are aware of the vibrations that you are willing to allow yourself to be aware of, you will know love. Be aware when you speak the word love or think the word love, how do the molecules and cells of your body respond to these words? Love. Let not one part of your body be denied the vibration of this word. Love. Let not one organ or nerve be denied the vibration of the word love. Speak it, think it, feel it, allow it. It is what you are. Speak or think the word one more time. Love. Be aware of the vibration in your body and the space around your body. And allow your awareness to be the vibration you are perceiving. Very gently bring your awareness back here and bring yourself in the present moment. So I'm just a little emotional. While we were in the middle of that, my father came to me, my biological father came to me and peeked in on me, literally peeked in on me and said, "Hey, David." It's just very moving to have that. Because I was asking how he was the other day and he didn't respond, and he came now. So allow yourself to really be aware of the vibration that you just allowed yourself to be, that you've allowed yourself to accept, that you've given to your body. Remember, you are a creator being. You have infinite energy and consciousness available to you. We call it emotion. And when you can access and utilize that emotion, you create your experiences in this world and in others. And so we hope today that you understand and know love a little better as a vibration that is inherent within you. We recommend that when you have the time that you sit quietly with yourself and you contemplate the word and the feeling of love and make certain you bring it down into your life. You must bring these energies down into your life to see them imprinted upon the space and time of your world. For you are learning this now. We are here to work with you to do this. So it is that vibration that you are most dominantly in that is maintaining and creating your experiences. And love is a far more exciting way to see life unfold around you than is fear. Although that can be very exciting too if you like to jump out of airplanes or fly in funny suits. That can be very exhilarating too. We are not here to judge the qualities or expressions of any individual life, but merely to offer you one that you may choose or not choose. Thank you. I'm just laughing because when they talk through me and they say certain things, I feel what they're communicating, and it's because I'm not separate from it because it's coming through me, right? And this is one of the beautiful things about learning to connect to your divine angels and your teams and learning to allow yourself to reach to higher realms of energy and consciousness. You get to experience a whole new world, not just the five physical sense world, but there's worlds and beings and dimensions that are just empowering and uplifting, will take you to places in this world as well as in others. And remember, when your body's at rest, you're not asleep. You are immortal and eternal awareness and consciousness. Let's see. We'll take a couple more questions. I hope you were able to do that. I hope you were able to really get into that with them, because when you start to become the vibration, then you don't have to concern yourself with the hows of life, because energy organizes matter. When you begin to understand that, energy organizes matter. When you really begin to understand that, um, you then become responsible in a different way, and you don't have to struggle and fight anymore, because now energy is working. Infinite intelligence is working on your behalf. It's doing it right now. It's digesting your food and making skin cells and blood cells and hair cells and eyeball cells and liver cells. It's doing it for you. I certainly don't know how to take this glass of water and tell it what molecules that need hydration inside, or what part of the body needs the water most. There's an intelligence within me that handles all of that for me, but it'll also handle all of this for us. And it is. It's handling the world for us. But unfortunately, we're misusing our creative ability. We're not being mindful of this emotion called fear that we have to learn to transcend and release. When we can release and transcend the emotion of fear, we will liberate ourselves back to love. And then we will liberate this earth from suffering. We came here to take care of animals, to become masters of creation. And this is a playground for this. This planet's a playground for that. Animals they can't create for themselves. We're here to take care of them, and we're not doing a very good job. But we'll keep improving, right? That's the whole thing. We are improving. Okay, to no love. Let's take a few more questions. Um, Wonderful. No, that's Kimberly. I want to respond to your comment about that. That when anybody goes deeply into love, those tears are just the emanation of energy. You're actually giving that energy out. And what's really fun is, I get up in the morning and I imagine, I wonder what wonderful things are going to happen today. Wonder what wonderful things are going to happen today. And I know that energy, I'm issuing an energy into this world through this body. I'm issuing an energy into this world through this body, and it's going to create an effect. And so I'll go through the day, and I'm always going to be surprised, because it always comes to me in surprising ways. When my joy or my excitement or this new chance meeting or this new opportunity, they come in ways that surprise me, and that's fun. There's a guy named Dr. Joe Dispenza. He talks about how we learn, and it's a really fascinating thing that you can't learn anything new from what you already know. And we talk about this in our courses and classes, that you can't learn anything new from what you already know. You have to think or feel or consider something different if you want to create a different experience. And again, we go into that very, very deeply. So you drop your old self and come into a new self. You have to actually recreate yourself, rebuild yourself. And Dr. Joe Dispenza is a really fascinating person who's got a really simple and wonderful method for learning how to do that. That will help a lot of people too. But there's a lot of teachers coming out now, a lot of teachers, a lot of masters manifesting on this planet right now through many of us, because it's that time. It's that time where we've called forth, we've decided it's time to give up suffering. We've been at it for a long time. It's time to surrender suffering and create heaven on earth. And we have the capability and we have the power to do it. And I'm not talking about electrical power. By power, I mean the awareness, the consciousness, the energy in the form of emotion that we can recreate and transform and transmute to be anything we want. Cool. Um, yes, that's great, Patricia. You'll find that when you are able to stay focused in energy, nothing will distract you. Your awareness expands. When your awareness expands, you don't get distracted. Even though all this stuff can be going on around you, dogs barking, cows meowing, or cows moving, and cats meowing, and fire trucks going by, and the hawks screaming outside the window, and you're not disturbed. You're at peace, because you're not separate from any of it, but you're undisturbed by the unity of it. It's a very fascinating thing. Um, Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. Question from Patricia. I had the thought that we should teach children mindfulness, but then I thought maybe they can teach us best way to keep them open. Interesting question. And children, when they come into their bodies, when you first came in that physical body, you came in as pure, undifferentiated awareness, connected to all that is. The body was the thing that had needs because it's a physical thing. It requires food. It requires care and maintenance, right? Which you got from the environment because you didn't need a body, but you're in the body. And for the first 5 years, you're unaware that you're in a body. The body has experiences that give you get your attention, and as the body experiences this thing and that thing, your awareness begins to collapse. It begins to collapse down from the unity field and collapses down to this finite point of time and space with the label given to the body, in this case the William label, and all the experiences that happen in the body programmed this body to be a William mechanism. But my awareness got identified with being William. For a long time, I thought I was this body and that William was who I am. And these thoughts and those memories are who I am. No, it's information. So you want to get to children need to be reminded and taught that their thoughts are creative and their emotions are creative. Do the best we can to maintain and protect and preserve the well-being of their body. But as they gain knowledge, teach them. I mean, the awareness will learn through repetition. Your awareness, when it's connected, you want to give it the knowledge. Emotion is the source of all creation. It's the fifth state of energy. Your thoughts create. Your thoughts are creating experiences in your world. And when you combine thought and emotion, and children need to know that their thoughts are creating experiences, that their emotions create events. Thoughts create experiences, emotions create events. It's a very fascinating thing. You'll learn to do that. So be mindful of that. That's what children really need to be reminded as early as possible that their thoughts and what they're feeling are creating. That's why parents, when a child is upset, a parent doesn't know this, but they instinctually want to try and calm the child down because we all know that emotion is a creative force. There is not one behavior in the human kingdom that doesn't have an emotion behind it. Every single human behavior has an emotion behind it. So children need to be taught. That's what they need to become aware of. That's what we can really do to help this planet. Teach our children now that emotion creates events, and the thoughts that we put emotions create specific events, right? Right. So you can actually create specific events with thought and emotion combined. If you're just feeling emotion, if you're just feeling angry or afraid, that's going to create a behavior, which will create an event or an experience in the world. And children need to learn that. They need to become mindful of their emotions and thoughts are creative tools for mastering matter, time, and space. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate the question. Well, guys, this has been a really awesome Supernatural Saturday today. I've had a wonderful time. And again, I don't know who these guys are today. They just came in and they're saying it's not just guys, there's male and female here. But they're just saying what is important is you understand that the love that you seek is what you are. And in your aspiration to become that, you will liberate yourself from the confines of what you call your humanity, but you will also ennoble the expression of your humanness. It's important you understand this, that you will bring the divine to this earth as you know love. So to know love. Yes, thank you. You're welcome, artist, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for showing up today. I really, really, really appreciate it. And remember, please if you like what you've heard here and what you've experienced here, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the link out to other people, get them. This is life-changing material that they're bringing through, and we have to take advantage of everything to raise our frequency up as a species collectively now. And it's happening whether people are conscious or not. It is happening. It's why everybody's so skitterish, because there's a change in consciousness happening on the planet today. And I want to, again, if you want to support the work that we do here, you can become a member of my Patreon page at patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And I would love to have you there. We got a monthly live for Patreons only. You get to ask questions. You can submit questions to your angels and your guides. We'll answer those questions for you. But you also have the opportunity to win a free reading with me once a month. We have a free reading giveaway once a month. And anything else I need to say? Oh, yes. And please go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. Come and sign up for our mediumship courses. These will change your life. And they're life-changing courses. They're not just simply courses on learning how to talk to your guides and angels. They'll help change your own mind, your own world, to be more in alignment with who you truly are as a sentient being here to manifest a specific creative expression. yeah, so thank you everybody again for coming up. We will see you all on Monday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. Again, have yourself a joyful and a wonderful day.